1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the story of an honest man losing religion, climbing the pulpit steps before an eager congregation. The wild praying came a wicked inspiration. Brothers, sisters, this is what he said. Dearly beloved, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, I can't relate to you, I can't relate to you. We've been doing this since we were 16. But we've never felt comfortable enough being honest about it. We were too, as teenagers and in our 20s, we were too nervous that it would affect the way we were perceived if we ever let it out that we were actually writing these songs on acoustic. Right. So now I think in our more confident years, we actually think it's an interesting art form that deserves to be seen. I can't relate to you. Won't somebody please come up with something? 'Cause Jesus just don't seem to be impartial again. And all the lovers are written down in the rain.
We've never sat across from each other and recorded. I mean, it's.
You have lovely eyes. Today I just noticed for the
Thank
first
you, Greg. You have excellent taste.
I planned it.
We're at our buddy Joe Breezy's studio, and we're recording an acoustic EP.
This kind of recording process is much more similar to my own and Brett's own style of songwriting. So it's less of a recording project as Brett and I would approach it more as a songwriting project, but we have Joe Breezy who makes it more of a recording project. So
You want to hear the new tune?
sure.
Okay, so what do you think? I'm pretty happy with it. I think this is the tune. And everything's kind of open. I just finished it. Usually, when we do this type of recording, Greg and I do it separately. So that's also something different, is that we're coming together with new songs that neither of us have really heard, and then we're kind of laying them down together spontaneously right away. So it goes.
And sometimes when we're writing, we approach it sort of like a writer-director in film. We do think about what it should sound like at the end, but having a full-fledged producer there makes it a lot easier for us just to write music, and that's really nice.
Yeah, we're doing this pretty down and dirty. We're doing the whole thing in 2 days, and we aim to do 6 to 8 songs. So that's definitely in the punk rock spirit. And we've never done anything like this, so it's just kind of fun. It's kind of fun to do.
Follow them when you know religion is gay. Atoms remain.
The song's called Atoms, and it started out as a title because I thought it was an interesting sounding title. And so it started with the two words. And at first glance, it might appear as though it's talking about Adam that everyone thinks about in the Bible. And since Bad Religion has such a history of religious commentary, I wouldn't blame them for thinking that it's about Adam. But in fact, it's far more erudite and nerdy than that. Talking about Adam Smith, the famous economist who influenced Charles Darwin. And it's basically suggesting that the seeds of Adam Smith's ideas are still with us today. And in fact, it still can be a double meaning, because I also would like to imply that if Adam was ever a real person, then indeed his atoms are still with us today as well, which is highly offensive to most people.
Atoms.
a big fan of getting the setup just right, and then letting people play their parts, and not overthinking it too much. And particularly with this kind of acoustic music, that really, I think, gives it a special feel that you can't simulate by overdubs and lots of time spent on it.
Let me take you to the hurting ground, where all good men are trampled down, just to settle a bet that could not be won, between a prideful father and his son. Won't you guide me now, for I can't see a reason for the suffering and this long misery. What if every living soul could be upright and strong? Well, then I do imagine there will be sorrow, and there will be sorrow, and there will be sorrow no more.
And the other tune that we did, that we've already begun working on, is called Dearly Beloved, and it was on the new Maps of Hell record. It's just a song about loneliness and isolation, and how family can be, can share blood, and yet still feel so strange and estranged.
Here's the story of an honest man losing religion, climbing the pulpit steps before an eager congregation. The wild praying came awakened inspiration. Brothers, sisters, this is what he said. Dearly beloved, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, I can't relate to you, I can't relate to you.
I think the fact of having been in a band together for over 20 years is coming through in our playing together. We have some kind of a sense of time, or a sense of dynamics and musicality that just because I do find it super easy to play with him, and I'm not really a full-time musician despite being a songwriter for the band. So it's although I used to be, and I used to be with Greg. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to discover that it seems to be coming across pretty effortlessly.
And did those feet in ancient times trod on America's pastures of green? And did that anthropocentric God wane with their thoughts and beliefs all unseen? I don't think so. He's up there with the others laying low, vying with those who you've traded your life to bless your soul.